Lena had never been on television before. Just the idea made her feel nervous. The invitation came by email. A local morning show wanted to interview her about her jam business. They called it a small success story. She was not sure she was ready. Her flat was still full of sticky jars and labels. She had no business cards. She did not even have a proper logo, only a smiling strawberry she had drawn on paper. Still, she said yes. She spent the next day preparing for the interview. She looked up simple interview tips online. She practiced answers like, "We care about quality," and "It all started with my interest in fruit." She bought a new shirt and ironed it twice. She brushed the cat hair off her skirt. Her cat, Miso, watched her from a chair. Lena packed a few jam jars into her biggest handbag. She wanted to show them on TV. The bag was open. Miso climbed in quietly. Lena didn't see it. She only thought, "This bag feels heavy today." When she arrived at the studio, a young woman with headphones met her. "You will be on in 15 minutes," she said. "Are you ready?" "Not really," Lena said, "but let's do it." She sat in the waiting room. Her handbag stood on the floor next to her. Something moved inside it. Lena looked down. The bag was still. "It's just the jars," she told herself. A makeup artist tried to powder her nose, but Lena sneezed and the powder went everywhere. The makeup artist laughed and said, "It happens every day." A cameraman waved at her, and Lena waved back. Then she realized he was not saying hello. He wanted her to move a little to the left, closer to the red sofa. Lena finally sat on a bright red sofa next to the host, a man with perfect teeth and a lot of energy. He smiled at the camera. "Today we are joined by Lena Park, the jam queen of our city. Tell us, how did your sweet business begin?" Lena smiled politely, but just as she started to speak, her microphone slipped and made a funny noise. She laughed and said, "Sorry, it is not my stomach. I promise I had breakfast." The host and the audience laughed. Then Lena continued, "Well, I gave a jar to my boss as a joke, and things just grew from there." "So it was a mistake?" the host asked. "Yes, a delicious one." They talked for 5 minutes. She answered questions about jam, fruit, labels, and flavors. Then came the final question. "So, Lena, if someone at home wants to become a jam star like you, what is your advice?" Lena stopped for a second. Then she said, "First, do not try to be perfect. Second, have extra jars. Third, always listen to your customers, even the strange ones." "Great tips," the host said. "People can find your website below." Lena smiled. Then her handbag moved. A small head appeared. "Is that a cat?" the host asked. Miso climbed out and jumped onto the sofa. She looked around. It was too much for her, so she quickly ran back to hide in the handbag. Everyone laughed. Even the cameraman forgot to film the jam. Lena said, "Sorry, she came with the jars." After the show, Lena checked her phone. She had 10 new orders and 2 new messages. One message was from her grandmother. It said, "You looked nice, but the cat looked confused." Later that night, she opened a new jar of mystery jar. Her cat jumped onto her lap and then onto the coffee table, knocking the half-open jar onto the carpet. "Well," Lena said, "that was unexpected." The cat sniffed the jam and sneezed loudly. "Careful," Lena said. "You will be on TV before me one day." She shook her head and smiled. Then she wrote one last note in her old notebook. "New plan. Miso is our company mascot. Warning, sticky paws."